Thank you for joining this Wisdom Field broadcast from Valdemas College. Valdemas is an organization committed to sound character development, academic excellence, and transformational education for all our students. We're guided by discipline, excellence, and wisdom. We hope that this to your heart and transform you into a metal leader. Wouldn't you find a comfortable position and take a good listen? Hello, good morning, my beloved viewers. It's a treat to be here again today. The humanity of man is what we're going to consider, and that's human being and human doing. This is our Practical Wisdom Series 5. I am Dr. Kolawole Joshua. I'm a transforming mind evangelist. I need us to first understand the concept of being a man. A man is actually a spirit being, but integrated with it is a soul, so as to have access to operate with the flesh on earth. The spirit connects us to the supernatural world and gives us access to enjoying supernatural experiences. It includes our spiritual awareness, sensitivity, understanding, and guidance. The soul of a man gives him a personality on earth, gives him a sense of self-awareness, rationality, and of course feelings. The body or the flesh relates to the physiology of the basic five senses in the body. We need to get something that the soul helps us to be able to relate to others. The body helps us to relate to our environment, and our spirit helps us to be more God conscious. So you are a tri-unity, having this three in one operating on earth. But you must understand that there is a concept of a parallel universe where your body is the one operating on earth and your spirit and soul operating from a realm beyond. So everything that happens to you or that would ever happen to you would happen in two realms. The first one is in the realm of the spirit and soul, and the other one is in the physical realm where you can see always. Because of the three nature of human, the human soul also has some three divisions. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And the health of our soul, the degree of the well-being of your soul will determine your self-esteem. You have the conscious mind, which is actually believed to be to be a tiny version of your mind, and you have the subconscious mind, which is believed to be a larger ratio. So there's a theoretical ratio 1:7 of your conscious mind to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is the heart, and that's the seat of your feelings, your emotions. That's the voice of your soul. That's where things become a belief. By the time something settles in your subconscious mind, it's a belief, it's an ideology that you are even willing to die for or to live for. That is where, of course, senses of painful and pleasurable memories come from. The conscious mind, on the other side, is the seat of your logic, your brain, your human intellect, your thinking, and this is the realm of philosophy. These are the things that you have in your thoughts that you can process, things that sound logical to you. So anything that you cannot capture in your ideology would automatically be in your philosophy as long as you're doing them. And so we also have the will. The will is our option given to us by our maker to make choices, because our lives is a function of the choices we make. Eventually, the destiny where we get to in our life is a function of the direction we decided to take. So that means the choices we decided to take leads to our destiny. So that means there's no constant destiny for a man. If you decide to start sitting down to read, to study, to learn and intellectualize today, you will start gravitating towards being a learned man, a sound-minded man in knowledge, and you start developing in that direction. If you give yourself into another world, in the world of music, in the world of art today, consistently over time, if that's where your choices continuously are, and that is where the destiny of your life will gravitate towards. So your destiny is practically in your hand as humans. So this is the seat of life and death. It's the seat of wisdom or foolishness. It's the seat of blessing or curses. It's the seat of light or darkness. You'll be the one to choose whichever one you want. If you consistently choose light, you start seeing the rewards of light in your life. But you cannot constantly choose darkness, choose foolishness, choose curses, choose to live by the pathway of death, and now expect that things will not happen to you on the other side. And as Africans, you have to be careful, because you live in a world where people will support you to deceive yourself, that you can actually be scattering, spending your money carelessly and wind up rich. You can actually be investing poorly and wind up wealthy. It doesn't work that way. You have to consistently make choices in light, choices in wisdom, choices in blessing, choices in light. That is when you will be able to grow yourself into a great destiny. I would also like us to know that as a man, we're made in the image of God. We have dominion in our field, so everywhere you concentrate, you can gain dominion in that area. God is the primary investor in your life. You cannot forget that. He has invested talent, ability, skills. He has granted you energy, which is your health. He has granted you grace to call upon him, capacity. He has granted you wisdom and insight. And that is the primary investment that was given to you, because God has made sure you're skillfully and fearfully made. You're wonderfully made. You're made to be productive, to be fruitful. So you must live a life that is in transition, going from point A to point B to achieve something. You're wired that way to always achieve, to multiply, to replenish, to scale up an idea, to scale up a concept, to increase. You're wired to fill the earth with your idea and take over territories. You're wired to subdue, to reign as kings and as leaders. And by this, you must understand that discipline, diligence, and a strong sense of discernment, understanding of times and seasons and the concept of the world will really help you. And all these are the total package that God has made in the triune nature of man, and they are strength for us. And you need to be fully engaged and to picture yourself achieving all this. So anytime you remember all the strength, when you're faced with challenges, you will not turn back. You will look for wonderful, creative ways of overcoming the challenge, because that is who you are. So you cannot be limited. You must understand that in the reality of men, behavioral scientists has established that men can be lazy, we can be greedy, we can be selfish, we can be ambitious, we could pursue pride, we can be impatient and ignorant. And all this, looking at all this, they could have their positive side and negative side, actually, because I wouldn't expect you to start walking towards Lagos now. You will definitely go by a road transport or by air. So that means if I say you're lazy, lazy can be in two forms, but you have to sit down and study. You have to sit down and learn. If I tell you you're greedy now, you could say, yes, I want something good for myself, which is not a bad idea. But you have to watch it that you do not have all these things in the bad light. That's why you must make conscious choices to reiterate all these things in a good light. God is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. But man is limited in all these three areas. So that's why we are not God. Humans can be hungry, we can be thirsty, we can be weary, we can be sick, we can be hungry, I can get depressed, get exhausted. Humans have insufficiencies. That is why they commonly say to err is human. We make mistakes, and essentially human will ultimately die. So when you understand this reality about you, then you will know that all these limitations are existing in everybody. But you need to now walk your way to greatness despite all these limitations. Man will continually move from the search for safety to survival, to security, to leisure, to love, to respect, and to fulfillment. All these are technically driven by the presence, availability, perception, or real of money and power. So we have to get it that we will all transit all through this phase as human as long as we live. But you must manage all this concept of safety, survival, security, leisure, love, respect, and fulfillment with wisdom. Men do not lead because they are flawless. You don't jump out to say I want to become this thing because I am perfect. We know we have all these imperfections listed, but yet men understand these frailties and they keep going on despite their weakness. That is how great men achieve success. So the fact that I'm weak in an area doesn't mean I have to celebrate that area, sit down there and be whining and crying and relax. Instead, I would motivate myself and keep going towards greatness, keep making conscious choices for pursuit of excellence, despite all the weakness, knowing fully well that everyone around me also have these imperfections and they are walking out their way to success with them. You have to understand that as a man, you would also need to try to transcend between some phases. And I will go over this carefully, because there are transitional nature in man that determines our masteries, and these are bent on the drives that ensures our total ideology for success and greatness. A man would at a phase of his life be a lion. You will be bold, you will be strong, you will need to be courageous, and you need to be faith-filled, especially when you're faced with an examination, you're faced with a challenge, you're faced with a limitation. Then you need to be bold, you will need to have faith, and you need to demonstrate great dimension of hunger if you want to succeed, because you will need to drive yourself, you will need energy, aspiration, and motivation. You will need to stay motivated. You need to stay motivated because there will be a time lag between when you will be able to use faith to download things that you're seeing in your unseen realm to be able to bring it to the visible realm. My viewers, if all that you see is what can be seen, then I feel for you, because you must have a creative imagination as a man to be able to see beyond and to be able to bring your future, download your future into reality. A man will transit through a phase of meekness. You will transit through a phase of being human where you make mistakes, you fail your way to success. You must also understand that at a phase you will soar so high as eagle. You would need at that point to guard your reputation. You need to keep monitoring and evaluating your system. You put systems and controls. You must understand your projected image. You must have a system for introspection, and you must also understand your nature. You must understand how your emotions works, what are your beliefs, what keeps you going on. You must understand this. As humans, you will need to pursue revelation. Academics will do well, and that is why academics is the foundation. You must be learned. You must be well trained academically with discipline. This would help you to become educated, because academics is actually what you're taught. Education is what you sit down and teach yourself. And then you will now need to pursue revelation, which is the transition between those who are successful and those who will become great. Because hard work from academics and whatever skill you have will make you successful. However, it is sacrifice from the transition of what you understand in education and your pursuit of revelation that will now make you great in life. And so you could say there are so many successful lawyers on earth, but how many are as great as Nelson Mandela, who had a clear revelation? So you must be thirsty. You must have refreshment, newness, intellectual yearning, and you must pursue knowledge. You will need passion. You will need to be excited. You need pleasure and joy. And of course, at every point, there must be reevaluation. There must be rest. There must be peace. There must be stability. There are 5 purpose questions you will need to ask yourself as a man. Where am I from? Who am I? What can I do? Every time your potential must be clear, and your purpose. Why am I here? And where am I going towards? As long as you keep asking these 5 evaluatory questions every day you wake up, you will keep gravitating and making your choices towards life and not death, towards light and not darkness. You will consciously make sure you're doing things that would bless you. So these 5 critical questions must be ringing in your mind. Where am I from? Who am I? What can I do? At every point, what can I do to serve? What can I do to improve the circumstances around me? And purpose, where am I going? Where am I going? Why am I here? Why did I show up on this platform or on this checkered pavement of mortality? Why am I on earth? And as long as you can clarify this, it would so help you. You must understand that every man has a sense of purpose. We want sense of value. We want sense of significance, importance. We want sense of meaning and context. Everyone wants to be fulfilled. I want to have control over everything that happens to me. So I need a sense of personal power. I also need a sense of being successful and being great. All these things will grow gradually when you stay in a humble phase and stay consistent, and you grow gradually from little, because he who is faithful in little will be accorded more. And the more you get accorded more, the more the value you give, the more the significance that comes, the more the importance that comes, the more the meaning you have in life, the more the fulfillment you get, and the more control of your power you have, and the more you get successful and you transit to being great. So this thing does not happen from the top down. It happens from your day of little beginning, when you're disciplined, when you're well learned. That's when you pursue good knowledge, and when you pursue excellence, and you humble yourself to be wise, so that you can grow gradually, and you grow through all these phases. More importantly is that you have a human anxiety management system, because there's a battlefield in your mind. This tilting between your head and your heart determines your adaptation to effecting changes. This can resist or enable the changes. So you have to understand that every day there's a constant battle between your head, which is your conscious mind, and your heart, which is your subconscious mind. An old man will prevent new learning because he has more memory than his creative imagination. So you cannot afford to be an old man. An old man has many more blind spots and is constantly constraining himself. You must desire change. You must desire a higher level of functioning. Once your higher level of functioning is getting gradually low, then you're becoming old. Every young man will keep transforming to a higher and more complex anxiety management system. You must love to learn more. When they say there's a new technology, you pursue it. There's a new knowledge somewhere, you pursue it. It is honorable for a man to bear his yoke in the days of his youth. And you must stay in that learning mode for life, if you want to keep transforming from a socialized mind to a self-transforming mind. The rule for the game is being in a continuous state of permanent personal development. You must stay in beta phase, and that's a learning mode. You must stay in the investment mode, in the seed sowing mode. You must keep learning daily. The frustrations of real men is that all leaders fail their way to success. Failure, challenges, and limitations are the password for unlocking success. So hard work brings success. Sacrifice brings greatness. Success without failure gives a leader a biased perspective of life and prevents him to have balance, to have compassion for people. If you have success without failure, you won't have tenacity to pursue more. You will not have stability of purpose. And then when you fail your way to success, you have a clearer understanding of the knowledge of greatness, and it helps you to leap your quantum, as into quantum leap consistently. People will look out for your frustration in your morality. They will check for your weakness in fidelity. They will check for character flaws and frustrations in your life. People will talk about your associations, your relationship, and your communication. People will evaluate your family life, and they will ask you questions about all these things. So you must stay strong and understand that they will check out for all these frustrations in you. And at any point when they make comments about it, you must be strong enough to stand and to keep your head up. Keep your head up, firm, bold, and keep going. Ignorance is man's fetters of iron. It's also the fact that we always need to be enlightened in our mind. We must empower ourselves constantly. We must stay connected to our source of strength. So you must understand your spiritual source of strength, which comes with your fellowship, with your spiritual belief. You must also understand your solical source of strength, which comes in your understanding of how to sit down to read, to study, to observe, to intellectualize. I mean, read books by great men, be well learned academically, which is the foundation, which you will now build education upon. And then before you can now get revelation over the education, you must stay connected to your source of strength. And then your body, you must give it exercise regularly. You must be bold and you must be firm. Finally, you must understand that for real leaders, immediate results are not the ways of leader, because all leaders seek transformational and sustainable change. So things happen over time. Anyone who tells you to come and invest on something and you get a reward almost immediately or in a short period of time, you must know that something is wrong in that idea. You must start seeking out for the loopholes, because definitely real change is silent and is over a long period of time. All humans does not have constant future. All humankind, it's not like you just decide where the future is. It is our habit, what you do daily, day by day, gradually, that determines where your future will be. Life will check your character, and people will ask, can I really trust you? Can I really trust you? And then we will check for your competence. Can you help us get better? If I'm going to employ you, can you help me improve this organization? If you're not, then I won't employ you. So competence requires how you become better. And compassion states that, do you really care for me? I have to also be seen to care for people. You must go all out for people. Finally, as a leader, and this is my final words, you must have a broken spirit and a contrite heart. You must have strong sense of wisdom, revelation, knowledge, and discernment. You must have quite profound understanding as a leader. You must understand that you can't do things alone. So you must have a team at every point. You must have an evolving team, men of value, men of purpose. And you must be passionate. You must stay passionate. If you're going to be successful and great, you will stay passionate. You must stay curious. You must stay nimble towards quality and excellence. You cannot just afford to relax at a point or hold loyalty to a system. You must stay nimble and be willing to adapt as fast as possible. You must always look for true purpose, a noble cause, and a genuine strategic vision in all you do. Because if you follow a bad purpose, you will end up with a bad name. So you must get a true purpose, a noble cause. You must have a clear identity of who you are, your true self-awareness, and you must continuously evolve and continuously challenge yourself to be better. That's where reevaluation comes in. Your degree of spiritual alignment to transcend all the limitations of human being is also necessary as a leader. You must be sure your spirit man is healthy, because you're actually a spirit. So you must have a strong sense of spiritual alignment. You cannot afford to just lead life carelessly. You must have strong value set for character, for competence, and for compassion. Strong value set, I emphasize, for character, for competence, and for compassion. You must be strong. You cannot afford to be emotionally weak. You must also develop a formula for success in all of this. You must develop a formula for success, and you must stay by it. Greatness is by choice. Greatness is by choice. The earlier in life you start the journey of greatness, the better. That is why it is better for a man to carry his yoke in the days of his youth. If you bear the yoke early enough at a tender age, at ages like 10, 11, 12, 13, at 14 to 19, all this age gives you a longer period to learn faster, grow, and become. A man must pass the test of quality locally, and you must progress to go and excel globally. So you need time. Because you're going to need time, it is good to start early. So if you still have the advantage of age on your side, I would implore you to stay consistent, to listen to this video over and over, and to become challenged, that I will pass the test of quality locally in my environment, and I will progress consistently to excel globally. There will be challenges on the way. I didn't promise it's going to be easy. I'm only telling you that it can be done. It always seems impossible until it is done. And that's by Nelson Mandela. Thank you so much for the time you spent. This message is from Valdemar's College. We are in the mind transforming business. We build metal leaders. We operate the best and the most innovative school management system that is available in Nigeria. We stay nimble because we're the industry standard for access, for quality, and for relevant education. Thank you so much.